Following the first 10 races of the season, we enter the last half of the fight for the Pro Laps Cup, and this is how the championship standings look like. Bigsby Foot leads with 34 points over Steve Barco and 35 points over Mariano Zavala. They are the closest, and they are the only ones that could bounce and take the lead from Foot. Max Gibson, Tony Bell, Lexi Percy are 54 and 60 points behind respectively, as Libby Bell is 80 points behind, Paul Barnes Jr. 87 points behind, Carson Garrison 89 points behind, and Stasha Filipova 93 points behind, a jarring difference to Bigsby Foot's 325 points haul. Here's the thing, regardless of the result of the next race, Bigsby Foot will only be falling to third place if disaster strikes. Let's see if that will be the case as we enter the 11th race of the season at Road America. Leading the field to the green here in Road America is Paul Barnes Jr. in the number 2. Alongside him is Selena Van Dam, and here we go. He has a good start, but Van Dam gets to speed faster. Stasha Filipova gets a huge jump in the back of the field. Coming into turn number 1, attacked by Jordan Chang. We have a 3 wide. Paul Barnes Jr. is off, and Selena Van Dam is going to capitalize and hold the 3 wide as Paul Barnes Jr. tries to hang around, but Chang forces him to the outside, and there goes Van Dam to the lead. Van Dam leads the way, and as you see, she just jumps ahead as Barnes Jr. tries to catch up, and here comes Van Dam going outside of the track, and this is not what she needed now. This is exactly not what she needed as she hits the wall, and her car is gonna get stuck at the middle of the carousel, as we have contact between 3 cars there, Cronenberg, Newcastle, and Pierce, all seen through the lens of Mariano Zavala, as by lap number 2, Jordan Chang leads the way. Barnes Jr. tries to catch him back down and recover the first position. Is it going to be able to as they come into the third turn? Does not work. He puts it alongside, but it's not enough to take the lead. Is it going to be enough as they drive into station number 5? Let's see. At station 5, they're still side by side. Barnes does not have the preferred line. Is this going to work? It's going to be a battle until the end. And here comes Barnes as the lead as they pour near the carousel. Coming into the carousel, Barnes Jr. leads the way. And at the end of the second lap actually, there goes Barnes Jr. leading the way, starting the third lap as Lucy Barton is going after Andrew Van Zandt, trying to do her best, trying to catch up. And if it works, it's gonna be fantastic. If it doesn't, well, her season might be heading towards a not so preferable path. As you see Chang recover the lead from Barnes going to the final corner, and now Chang has opened the lead towards Barnes. It's a big gap he has opened by lap number 5 as Sarah Tops goes off. Sarah Tops goes off, hits the wall hard, and there you see the teammate of Jordan Chang, Huilan Zhou, as you see Zhou tries to avoid the wreck, and then we have contact between the HQS cars. Lexi Percy into the back of Caitlin Richler as Richler checked up. Richler hits the wall. Oh, cuts across Sam Duffy. That could have ended way, way, way worse than it actually did. This is not what HQS Racing needed, and this is definitely not something the Spy Network needed, as Ceratops is out, and Bigsby Foot and Libby Bell are running 21st and 22nd. At the current moment, they only score a single point. By lap number 8, Chang leads the way. As you see, Andrew Van Zandt still in the top 5. Carson Garrison closes the top 5 as the battle for second begins between Lucy Barton and Paul Barnes Jr. Barton's gonna have the go-ahead to go through it as they come to the final corner, and Barton has the preferred line going uphill. Barton's gonna take the second position, and by lap number 14, her attack on Jordan Chang works, and there goes Lucy Barton for the lead of the race. And Chang tries to get it back at her, but Barton's gonna fight it off as Andrew Van Zandt's going after Paul Barnes Jr. for the third position, and he's gonna go off track after passing Barnes, and he's gonna avoid hitting the wall. He's gonna get back going, but he's gonna lose a lot of time. As Mariano Zavala, as you see, they're fighting for 5th position against Carson Garrison. Lucy Barton has taken the white flag and she leads the way, and this is something that she definitely was hoping for. Her season began alright, but she lost some steam as Max Gibson's season loses a lot of steam again as he hits the tire barrier. He's gonna keep that car going, but he's gonna lose so many positions it's not even gonna be worth it at this point. As you see, Bigsby Foot improved a bit, but it's still down on the order as Max Gibson's no good season continues as a disaster. His title defense does not work at all. And in the back of the field, Sam Duffy into the wall, Lucas Cronenberg into Sam Duffy, Troy Cantrell into Sam Duffy. Big crash on the final lap, something that neither of these three needed. But in the front of the field, Lucy Barton checked away and is gonna take the win here in Road America. Jordan Chang's gonna take second place, Andrew Van Zandt's gonna take third, Paul Barnes Jr. takes fourth, Mariano Zavala closes the top 5 after passing Carson Garrison. Natasha Pierce did not have that good of a start but worked her way forward to 7th place, Vivian Arnold 8th, Sydney Newcastle 9th, and Reed Bullitt closes the top 10. Leading the field to the green here in Mosport is Carson Garson, but he has an awful start. Bigsby Foot, seeking to recover the points haul he lost at Road America, has a fantastic start and already takes the lead coming out of the first corner. Garrison makes an effort to recover it. They're side by side going downhill, but Foot has the nose ahead and will retain the first position. As Sam Duffy takes the second place at the end of the first lap, we have a contact there. Hard hit between Reed Bullitt and Selena Van Dam. Selena Van Dam's season just continues to go to the trash bin as we have a big mess. Steve Barco, Caitlin Richler, the 640 of Jake Gilliam, and Mariano Zavala all involved. By lap number 2, you have Sydney Newcastle and Andrew Van Zandt getting together. The Xenoses have problems and Andrew Van Zandt gets 2 wheels in the air in his way to retiring. As Sam Duffy now takes second place from Carson Garson, follows Bigsby Foot as we have more trouble as Natasha Pierce hits the tire barrier and she's gonna be done as her teammate Jake Gilliam goes by with having problems early on, as well as Lucy Barton, winner of last week's race at Road America, goes after Bigsby Foot, while Dan Francis Jr. and Lucas Cronenberg, the Xenos, have troubles again. And for a stable that doesn't have a lot of drivers, they're just getting together a lot as Jeff Adkins goes off track, and he just did not need a contact like that, especially this early on. We're only 4 laps in. Bigsby Foot continues to lead. Lucy Barton takes second. Sam Duffy and Carson Garson make contact as Garrison takes third place. Garrison now by lap number 8 going after Lucy Barton for the first position. Is that gonna work? Looks like it might. It will. Carson Garrison takes second place by lap number 12. There he goes after Bigsby Foot at the same place he passed Lucy Barton. And there goes Carson Garrison for the lead. Carson Garrison is going to take the lead. Bigsby Foot is going to have to settle for second by lap number 18. We have contact. Stasha Filipova into Jake Gilliam. Gilliam into that tire barrier. And both Long Beach Autosport cars are done for the afternoon. By lap number 21, with only 10 laps to go, Garrison leads Foot, Barnes Jr., Lucy Barton, Sam Duffy, Troy Cantrell up there, Lexi Percy and Max Gibson up there as well. By the time we get to the final lap, Garrison checked out, checked away, and there goes rounding out the final corner to take another one this year, Carson Garrison. Paul Barnes Jr. 5.5 seconds behind, Lucy Barton 6.5 seconds behind, Bigsby Foot fell behind 4th place, Sam Duffy 5th, Troy Cantrell, fantastic result for the 69, a very nice result in 6th place, 10 seconds behind. Max Gibson, Lexi Percy, Sarah Tops, and Libby Bell closed the top 10. The quest for the Prolapse Cup after 12 events sees Bigsby Foot retaining the championship lead, but Carson Garson and Mariano Zavala are looking to recover that points haul. They're still far away, but cutting the difference is still doable. However, they depend on problems heading towards Foot's way. Libby Bell leads the field to the green here in Burlington for the 13th race of the season. And here we go as Stasha Filipova starts in second and already slots behind the number 6 and goes after her at the first couple of corners. And there goes Stasha Filipova for the lead as Selena Van Dam is going to take the second position still in the first lap. And there goes Lexi Percy around after making contact with Brandon Ashcroft. Not a very good start for the 31 team. As by lap number 3, we have a fight between Filipova and Van Dam. And then we have contact between Lou Murray and the 77 of Andrew Van Zandt. Van Zandt has a lot of damage. Is going to lose a couple of laps in the pits getting that repaired. Not a very good early moment for the 77 team. As there goes Van Dam outside goes Filipova, but she recovers and will retain the second position. We have contact between Cronenberg, Lou Murray, and Brendan Ashcroft. It's a mess in the back of the field, and it's gonna get even worse as Reed Bullitt, Cronenberg, and Lou Murray get together. Lou Murray goes off track, and then Reed Bullitt gets into the back of the 73 as they check up, and Cronenberg is gonna be stuck in the pits. By lap number 23, after we hit the halfway point, Van Dam leads the way with a big gap over Filipova. Steve Barco and Sydney Newcastle running 3rd and 4th as we have more trouble in the back of the field as Vivian Arnold's gonna push Natasha Pierce a bit over the top to the outside, and there goes Pierce's race. She's gonna lose a lot of time as Selena Van Dam's gonna take the white flag, and it's 1 lap left as Lou Murray into the back of the 99, and Brendan Ashcroft is gonna be done for the afternoon. A very hard contact in the final lap as he nurses his car back into the pits. Selena Van Dam is going to round out the final corner and is going to take the win here in Burlington, Vermont. Second place is going to be Filipova, 7.5 seconds behind. Steve Barco takes 3rd, Sydney Newcastle 4th, Lucy Barton a great result in 5th. Jeffrey Atkins, Vivian Arnold, Libby Bell, Sam Duffy, and Tony Bell will close the top 10. Race 14 of the championship. After very strong rains early this morning, Libby Bell leads the field to the green for this 23-lap race here in Watkins Glen. Sydney Newcastle started in 2nd, but he's already coming under attack from Carson, Garrison, and Garrison. Eventually will go through, but in the first lap we have contact between Cronenberg and Farrell, and both hit the wall very hard, and both are done for the afternoon. Newcastle is running in 2nd and hits the tire barrier right in front of the field. This causes a traffic jam. Only 2 drivers go by, which are Carson, Garrison, and Libby Bell. Max Gibson hits the tire barrier, gets into the path of Brendan Ashcroft, and it's another traffic jam. I'm surprised we didn't have more crashes than that. By lap number 4, Libby Bell secured the first position. Carson Garrison secured the 3rd. By lap number 5, Bigsby Foot trying to defend the 3rd position gets together with Lexi Percy, hits the tire barrier. He goes around back in front of traffic. Tony Bell hits the number 0 very, very hard. Bigsby Foot is done. Tony Bell is done. This is not what Bigsby Foot needed for his championship run as Libby Bell hits the tire barrier a little bit. That will affect the performance of that car, but not so much. As in the back of the field, Jack Halleck into the back of Sarah Top sends Jeffrey Atkins spinning around in front of the field. Mariano Zavala has nowhere to go. Ends up hitting the 48. Big crash, and 2 very promising drivers are done on lap number 6 out of 23. Stasha Filipova at lap number 8 making a bid for the 2nd position against Carson Garrison. Is that gonna work? Looks like it will. She has the inside, the preferred line, and Carson Garrison goes a bit too off, and there goes Stasha Filipova for the 2nd position as Sten Gustafsson goes off, gets hit by Sarah Tops, and then the number 4 of Sam Duffy, and then Jack Halleck hit him. Big crash on lap number 12. The track is still very, very wet. There are a few puddles here and there, so the drivers opted to run the wet tires, and it's proving to be working. However, Paul Barnes Jr. contact with Vivian Arnold, a very hard hit, and Paul Barnes Jr. is done. Again, not something he needed. At lap 16, Stasha Filipova and Libby Bell get together. Somehow this doesn't escalate, but this battle is beginning, and it's beginning with a bang. Let's see if it keeps up. As Stasha Filipova right on the rear end, Libby Bell uses the curb to protect herself, goes through, retains the lead, and here comes Filipova once again trying. Libby Bell blocks her. This is great stuff we're having here in Watkins Glen. Coming out of the final corner to open the 17th lap. Final corner of the boot, actually. Here comes their side by side at Watkins Glen. They're going side by side coming out of the boot. Here comes Libby Bell, hangs on. She's gonna have the preferred line coming to the stern. Here she comes. Filipova does not miss the beat. Keeps up the rhythm. Coming into the final corner now. Filipova's gonna have the preferred line. Coming out of the final corner. And now they're side by side coming into the line. Let's see who's gonna take the lead. It's gonna be Libby Bell retaining the lead at the line. But now Filipova once again has the preferred line coming to turn number 1. Filipova has the nose ahead, and Filipova is gonna take the first position. Will she clear the number 6? She will, and Filipova is gonna take the first position with only 6 laps to go. And she already checks out by lap number 19, and then we're gonna have more trouble in the rear of the field, as here comes Huilang Zhou bringing with him Jordan Chang. They're working together, climbing the field. They started in the back and they're climbing ever so slightly, coming into the bus stop chicane. Let's see what happens. They make contact. They go off. Both the 28 and 29 go off. They hit Troy Cantrell. It's a big hit. Big hit with only 4 laps to go. The 69, the 28, the 29 are all done for the day very late. But at the front of the field, Filipova has nothing to worry about as she rounds out the final corner to take her 3rd win in the season. Stasha Filipova will take it here in Watkins Glen. Filipova hasn't been as consistent as the other drivers, but this is another very strong win. Libby Bell has to settle for 2nd as Steve Barco, Selena Van Damme, and Lucy Barton. Another strong result by the 98 crew. Carson Garrison gets to 6th place after falling off the fight. Natasha Pierce gets a 7th place. Lexi Percy bounces back to 8th. Vivian Arnold 9th. Reed Bullitt closes the top 10. After finishing outside the top 10 in Burlington and crashing today, Bigsby Foot has lost the championship lead to Steve Barco. Barco is now 8 points ahead of Foot. Lucy Barton 12 points behind. Libby Bell 15. Carson Garson 22. Today's winner Filipova 32. Paul Barnes Jr. after crashing is 46 points behind. Mariano Zavala 52. Lexi Percy 58. Max Gibson 70 points behind. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a championship battle once again. We now reach the point where there's only 5 races left in the championship. Brandon Ashcroft takes a Northeastern Pro Award here in Lakeville, Connecticut, the Lime Rock Park, as we have trouble in the back, but we're gonna look as they come through. Lexi Percy fighting with Ashcroft. Ashcroft keeps the position. As you see, the 29 of Zhou Huilang gets into the back of Mariano Zavala, and Zavala's race is over. Huilang's race is also over, as Ashcroft's gonna lead at the end of the first lap with a commanding difference over Percy. Lucy Barton trying to rebound from her poor performances, but not doing a very good job, starting 23rd. By lap number 5, as you see, Percy can be at the same pace as Ashcroft, but can't quite catch up. Same with Max Gibson in 3rd. As you go on board with Percy, she cannot quite catch up to Ashcroft. She goes fast enough, but she just simply does not go as fast as she needs to take the position. By lap 18, you see Steve Barco running in 10th place. He's trying to make an effort to retain the championship lead, but Bigsby Foot right behind him. By the point we reach 15 laps to go, Ashcroft leads Percy and Gibson with a commanding lead. As you see, 4th place Sydney Newcastle, 5th place Carson Garrison having a very good run up there. But then in the back of the field with only 6 laps to go, contact between Reed Bullitt and Natasha Pierce, and we have trouble. The first very serious incident of the race since the beginning, and it's a big mess, which takes Natasha Pierce out of the race. 1 lap later, the race for Stasha Filipova was not very good. She was in 20th place, and it's gonna come to a screeching halt as her engine explodes with only 5 laps to go. A very unfortunate race end for Stasha Filipova, who was a championship contender until this blowout. And with only 4 laps to go, Andrew Van Zandt hits the wall. His race is also over. He's the last retirement, as rounding out the final corner with a commanding lead, a very big lead. Brandon Ashcroft's gonna lead all laps from the pole and will take his first win of the season here in Lime Rock. Lexi Percy finishes in 2nd place, 3 seconds behind. Max Gibson 3rd. Sydney Newcastle retained 4th place. Carson Garrison takes 5th, which will give him a very good points haul for the championship battle. Tony Bell, Lou Murray surprising in 7th place. Paul Barnes Jr., Jordan Chang, and Libby Bell will close the top 10. Leading the field to the green here for the race at Cape Cod will be Lucy Barton, and she has a very good start over Paul Barnes Jr. as Mariano Zavala tries to make a move on her early on. Is that gonna be enough? Doesn't look like it will, and Barton's gonna retain the first position at the end of the first lap. Sorry, at the end of the first couple of turns. By the end of the first lap, she does retain, and Zavala starts to chase her down, but he can't quite get the move done. As you go on board with the number 3 Vicker Collision and Glassar, he can't quite get the move singled out, as Paul Barnes Jr. and Brendan Ashcroft fight for the 3rd position. Ashcroft gets the nose ahead, and Ashcroft's gonna take the lead. By lap 15, Barton, Zavala, Ashcroft, Barnes Jr. Then you see Libby Bell, Carson, Garrison, Kurt Pliskin having a good run, Selena Van Dam and Steve Barco closing the top 10, as with only 4 laps to go, Barton leads the way. However, she gets called into the pits suddenly, and there goes Lucy Barton going into the pits. A tire failure on the 98 is gonna spell the end of her dominant 24 lead laps run, as Mariano Zavala is gonna take the 1st position, and Barton's gonna fall all the way back into the field. However, that is not gonna be a complete loss, because given she led the most laps and was the pole position, she will be able to bring something home, as Kurt Pliskin goes in with an unspecified problem. But in the meantime, Mariano Zavala is gonna round out the final corner and come uphill to get another win this season, and Mariano Zavala is gonna capitalize and take the win here in Cape Cod. Taking 2nd place will be Brandon Ashcroft, 2 seconds behind Paul Barnes Jr., Libby Bell, Carson, Garson close the top 5. Steve Barco gets a good points haul. Stasha Filipova finishes in 8th. Sydney Newcastle and Tony Bell will close the top 10. The championship standings after 16 races of the 19 see Libby Bell taking the lead from Steve Barco by only 2 points. She gained 5 positions in the last 2 races. Carson Garrison 4 points behind, Bigsby Foot 20 points behind, as Paul Barnes Jr. and Lucy Barton tied with 28 points behind. Mariano Zavala still under contention, 46 points behind, together with Stasha Filipova, Max Gibson, and Lexi Percy as we enter round 17. Leading the field to the green here in Las Vegas is going to be Lexi Percy for another race in an oval road course. As you see, she has a good start. Libby Bell starts alongside her. Carson Garrison already tries to make a move for the lead, but he has to check up and is unable to make it work. As you see, contact between the 14, the 119, the 29, the 73. We have more trouble with the 1, the 460, the 15, and the 8, and the 31. A lot of trouble early on, and then more contact. The 9, the 50. Oh my god, this is a mess. The 0, the 41. Oh my god, Bigsby Foot got struck there really hard. Gets into the back of Reed Bullet, and both hit the concrete wall, and both are done in the first lap. Despite all that trouble, Lexi Percy leads the way and is the pace setter early on. As you can see, she has quite a big difference over 2nd place Steve Barco, as Carson Garrison is trying to catch up. And there you see Percy lead Barco, and then you see Carson Garson, Jesse Wales, the 28 of Jordan Chang, Libby Bell, Mariano Zavala, and Leroy Maestas having a good race. Lap 13 is time for Lucas Cronenberg to retire after that early contact. The car was damaged, there was nothing he could do. But by lap 19, look at Jesse Wales making a move through Lexi Percy, and there is Lexi Percy losing the lead to Jesse Wales. Wales now leads as Steve Barco makes a move on Lexi Percy. She gets loose, and Barco's gonna capitalize, take 2nd place. By lap 22, they already start to lap the 460 of Natasha Pierce. As you can see, Selena Van Dam and Mariano Zavala having a good run. Leroy Maestas dumps the 460, has the 460 checked up on him with only 6 laps to go, and with 5 laps to go, there is Steve Barco and Jesse Wales, and now Barco makes a move on the lead on the inside. Is this gonna work as they open lap 27? 4 laps to go. Barco outbreaks him, and a very strong move by Steve Barco, and that will be the move to decide the win, as Steve Barco's gonna round out the final corner and take the win here in Las Vegas in a fantastic and daring late race move. As taking 2nd place will be Jesse Wales, obviously. Carson Garrison takes 3rd place. Jordan Chang, a very solid 4th place. Selena Van Dam 5th. Lexi Percy 6th. Max Gibson 7th. Leroy Maestas, despite the contact with Natasha Pierce, is going to take 8th. Mariano Zavala and Libby Bell will close the top 10. Leading the field to the green here in AFD Raceway Park in Grand Junction, Colorado will be Carson Garrison. They're driving a bit too side by side, as we only have 2 races left in the championship. Carson Garrison, Bigsby Foot need to get their stuff really well done if they want to win the race. If they want to win the title, not the race. But winning the race would help a lot. As coming into the tunnel, Bigsby Foot leads. Libby gets into contact with Max Gibson. The track is now completely blocked. There's a crash in the back with the 15 car, and we have a traffic jam in the tunnel. I have only seen that in Chicago at 7 p.m. Big rush hour, as here comes Carson. Garson almost gets into the 15 by lap number 3. By lap number 6, you are going to take a look at Lucy Martin. She needs to improve her result, or else she will not become a contender. Same with Libby Bell. She needs to catch up fast. And in the meantime, Paul Barnes Jr., another driver that needs to catch up. Same with Lexi Percy. They both are under risk of not being a contenders for the title. By lap number 20, we have a fight for the lead between Carson, Garrison, Bigsby Foot, and a couple more cars. I was not able to identify them as they passed. As you see, Vivian Arnold, Lexi Percy, and Paul Barnes Jr. into a 3-wide coming into the tunnel. They make contact. Big crash. Big crash for the number 2. Paul Barnes Jr., Lexi Percy, Steve Barco, all involved. A huge contact that will certainly eliminate the 2 and the 31 from championship contention. As Bigsby Foot leads the way, Vivian Arnold, Karmic Retribution, she's done for the day. She tried a 3-wide where there really was any need to. But in the meantime, Bigsby Foot is still in a fight with the number 1. And here comes the 0 and the 1 are gonna finish in numerical order. Is that gonna happen? Coming into the final chicane, coming into the entrance of pit road. Will this work? So, running off the chicane, here comes Bigsby Foot rounding out the final corner to take a very important win that will put him in championship contention. Donnie Bell will score the 2nd position, and then you see Andrew Van Zandt a bit too far away in 3rd place. Tasha Filipova with a 4th place. Selena Van Dam 5th. Sarah Tops, Carson Garrison, Steve Barco, Lucas Cronenberg, and Natasha Pierce will close the top 10. The championship standings entering the final race of the season. Steve Barco continues to lead. However, Carson Garrison is only 3 points behind. Bigsby Foot 33 points behind. Libby Bell 46 points behind. They're the last mathematical contenders. Lucy Barton, Lexi Percy, Mariano Zavala, Tasha Filipova, Selena Van Dam, they have all been eliminated, and unfortunately they will not take part in the championship battle. Leading the field to the green here for the final race of the season is Paul Barnes Jr. This is the Championship 300, and we are green. Coming out of turn number 1, he already has a good start, but here comes Lexi Percy, forces him a bit too wide, and there goes Lexi Percy. For the 1st position, Lexi Percy is going to take the lead as Greg Woodard is following the 31, and Greg Woodard is going to give chase to Lexi Percy and is going to pass her. Still on the 1st lap, so we get 2 lead changes, and those, fun fact, will be the only lead changes in the whole event. As Greg Woodard just takes the position and runs away. In the back of the field in 7th place is Steve Barco leading the championship. He just needs to finish the race and guarantee that the guy behind him in 11th does not get more than 4 points than him in the race. And there you see Libby Bell running in 24th place. She is the last car under contention, not having a good start. Bigsby Foot in 20th place, chasing them down. Paul Barnes hits the wall, and it's good. It's good. It's good. It's all fine, but it's not good anymore. Selena Van Dam hits the... Oh my god, that's a big contact. That's a big contact as Selena Van Dam hit the number 2, the 20 hit the 481, and then the 640 just imploded. By lap number 5, Steve Barco continues to be passed. He has problems, setup problems, but he cannot leave the track because he could be risking falling a lap down to fix that. He's already in 24th place. Carson Garrison running in 12th place. Right now, he is mathematically your champion. However, the race is not over. As by lap 10, here comes the 0 of Bigsby Foot. Foot is on a mission and he needs a good result to win this title. He tries to force the move on Garrison. Is it gonna work? Not now, but he's gonna try a couple of turns later. Is it gonna work now where he gets the nose ahead? Carson Garrison fighting back, but Bigsby Foot's gonna get the pass done. He's gonna take the position. By lap 16, 7 laps to go, Woodard leads, and it's a big lead over Lexi Percy, who has a smaller lead over Woody Watts, and then a huge lead over Ceratops, who's having a great result for the Spy Network, and then Kurt Pliskin, Max Gibson, Vivian Arnold, and Natasha Pierce. Bigsby Foot running in the top 10, Libby Bell in 14th, Carson Garrison 22nd, he fell off the wagon hard, as Steve Barco running 29th by the time we hit lap number 19. But in the meantime, Greg Woodard's gonna round out the final corner and is gonna take the first win for a Master Cup driver in AmeriCar this season. Lexi Percy takes second place, 7 seconds behind. Woody Watts chasing her down was unable to get the pass done. Ceratops, Kurt Pliskin, Vivian Arnold, Max Gibson, Natasha Pierce, Bigsby Foot in 9th, and Selena Van Dam closed the top 10. Bigsby Foot got 24 points, Libby Bell 10, Carson Garrison in 24th with 3, and Steve Barco in 29th with 1. And now, it's time to know who won the 2019 AmeriCar AC1 Championship. With 535 points, 1 win, 8 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and 1 pole position. By a single point, the 2019 champion of the AC1 class is Steve Barco. Barco was able to hang on to that 3-point difference. It got smaller, but Carson Garrison was unable to overcome it. Bigsby Foot made a huge headway in the final race, but it was not enough. He finishes 10 points behind. Still a very strong result for the Spy Network, as Libby Bell follows him in 4th place. Lexi Percy won 2 races, but was unable to keep her form for most of the season. She had 2 DNFs and was unable to catch back up as the season progressed. Selena Van Dam 30 points behind Percy, as Max Gibson is unable to reach that record and win a 4th title in a row. He will have to settle for a respectable, however not so sweet, 7th place. Lucy Barton in her debut season got a win, got 8 top 10s, 2 pole positions, and will take 8th place. Stasha Filipova in her debut season took 3 wins. Perhaps if she had more consistency, she could have mounted a challenge. And 3-time champion Tony Bell with 452 points will beat his teammate Mariano Zavala by 4 points to finish in the top 10. For the Primetime Sports Network, I am Eric Burns. I hope you enjoyed following the AC1 class through the 2019 season. But don't forget it, mark it in your calendar. Up next, we will take a look at the AC2 class, the Muscle Car Challenge of AmeriCar. Once again, I thank you very much for watching. We congratulate Steve Barco for winning this exciting championship battle, and we will see you next time.